All right, everyone, we are going to make a Dracula magazine today. So let's do it together. I'm going to call this Dracula Brown. I want you to name Dracula and your name. We're going to set the size to 8.5 by 11, resolution 300, and we're going to hit create. I'm going to go Command Shift Save, and here's digital media, Photoshop, Dracula magazine, and that's where it's going to go, and I'm going to hit save. Now, I've already downloaded the student files, which you should do from your project sheet. I'm going to hit Command A for select all, Command C to copy, and Command V as in victory to paste it in there. And I'm going to call this background. Great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit this photo a little bit. So I'm going to hit Command L for levels, and I'm going to bring this in a little bit more into the peaks, and I'm going to make the darkers a little bit darker, and I'm going to make the lighters just a little bit lighter. I don't want to burn it out though. Let's see where I'm going to put this in. I'll put it about right there, and so don't make it too hot on the white, so be very careful, but I want the background fuzzed out just a little bit, and then I'm going to say okay, perfect. I'm going to get the remove tool, and I'm going to hit my bracket keys to make that bigger, and I'm going to remove some of the sloppy stuff on his jacket because quite frankly, I just don't like it. And we're going to, he's got this weird, I don't know, it looks sloppy. We're getting rid of it. Okay, and we're going to go in there. Okay, and that looks pretty good. And I'm going to hit Command S because I'm going to save, save, save. I'm then going to take my burn tool. I'm going to put it at about 53, and I'm going to hit shadows first, and I'm going to darken his eyes just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put this at midtones to kind of get this eye the same darkness as the other one. Okay, there we go. Ooh, scary. All right, I love it. And I'm going to hit Command Save. Now, I'm going to select subject here, and I'm going to grab him, and it's not quite what we want, which is fine because I can take my quick selection tool here and I can move these out a little bit, and really I just want, and I hit my option key to select or to subtract, and then I push it back out. And I don't have to be like too crazy about it because really I just need his head for the selection, but we're going to try really hard to just get him as best as we can. Okay, there you, ooh, look at that ear. I need to get that ear. Woo! Okay, there we go. That was a close one. Almost missed it. Get his ring, okay? And then I hit Command J as in Jaguar, and now you can't really tell because what's going on, but if I make that, I can see that he is on his own layer. I missed a little bit over here. I could go back and redo it if I want it, but I don't need it for this, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to put Dracula body, and there we go. And I'm going to delete this layer because I don't need it. So I have a background and I have Dracula. Now I'm going to type in the word Dracula, and I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm like, I wonder where I'm going to align it. Never fear, I'm going to go to show, and I'm going to go to guides down here, and I'm going to say new guide layout. I want there to be 2 columns because that puts a marker right down the middle of that document. And I'm going to say I want margins 0.5 around, and that's really going to help us line up our text. Okay, and I'm going to pick the Anton regular here, and I'm going to give you suggestions on text, but really I want you to go in and look for yourself and see really where it should go. So I have Dracula, and then I want to choose like a golden kind of like peachy up in here. Beautiful. That's exactly what I want. And then I'm going to move the layers, and now this Dracula is actually behind his head. Okay, so we're going to place it right there. We're going to change the size just a little bit so that it fits those guides, because everything is going to what we call snap to those guides so we can see what's going on. All right, and then I'm going to put a layer style on it, and I'm going to go layer style, and I'm going to put a drop shadow. Now you can see a little bit of a drop style has been on there, but I'm going to do something just a little bit different. And what I'm going to do is change this to normal, and then I'm going to pick a hot red. And I'm going to make the opacity 100. This is going to be 90. And then I'm going to move these down to 0, and I want the distance to be 37 on this one. And you can see it's putting like a screen printing effect, and that's exactly what I want. And I'm going to say, okay, we got it. Okay, perfect. We got some really good contrast that is building right here. All right, then I have some text that is building up. And let's see, I want to get my text open here. So make sure that you open your text file as well. And I know you can't see it because it's on the other one, on the other screen, so you can't really see it, but that's okay. So I want you to get where it says Dracula, the Ultimate Magazine, and we're going to paste it in there. And I'm going to paste, and I'm going to come up here, and I want to say this is where we're going to use Axia, and I want you to choose the light version, and then we're going to make it size 12 for now. And we're going to bring it in, and then I'm going to go Command T, and I am going to go from, there we go, and we are going from guide to guide, and then I'm going to drop Dracula down just a little bit so that there is good spacing. Okay, so we're going to keep all the text within those 1/2 inch margins. Okay, beautiful. All right, the Dracula, I'm also going to squish it just a little bit. I'm going to hold down my shift key. There we go. I don't want it quite as that. Okay, so there's Dracula, looking fine. We have those items in. Okay, next we're going to bring in a rectangle, and I'm going to use, okay, there we go. And let's go ahead and, oh, where's my center? Did I get rid of my center guide? No problem. I can come over to here to 4.25 and build me a new one because 8.5 by 11, or 8.5 divided by 2, that's what it is. And I'm going to draw in my rectangle. The fill, I'm going to set the color to, come on, it's about right here. It's about that color. We can also do the picker. Great. So that way I have it exactly the way I want. You can see that I have it behind his pants. I want to put it on top. No problem. And then I also want to make just the top right hand corner rounded. So I'm going to unlink this by hitting the link, and I'm going to turn this to 96. And as you can see now, I have a little bit of bend on that corner. Isn't that beautiful? So now I'm going to pull up my text again, and it's going to be a classic man or monster. Get my text, paste, okay, it's yellow so I can't really see it. I can come up here and boom, a classic man or monster. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit delete and hit a return to make that text go on another line. It's looking kind of crazy, so I'm going to hit all my text, select all of it, and make sure it has left justification, which it does. And I'm going to make this just a little bit larger. Okay, great. and I can see the text has fallen off, so I just make that a little bit bigger. And then I want it to be the same size as a classic, so I can just highlight the size there and hit my down arrow, and I can just move it until it's about the same size. Great. And I'm going to move it within there. Okay, I want to fine tune it a little bit so it's closer to the C. If I go to a 31, it's a little bit shorter. So what I can do here is add a little bit of spacing to my characters, and it should look better. I'm going to put a 55 here. There we go. Okay, so that looks pretty good, and I'm going to kind of center it within there. Great. So my next is exclusive interview with Van Helsing, and I'm going to copy, and I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to hit paste, and I'm going to use the Axia font, and I'm going to use light, and I'm going to make it 12, and I want to make it that yellow color for sure. Okay, then I'm going to hit my transform tool, Command T, and I'm going to resize that just like that. Okay, and I'm making sure, once again, that it truly goes from guide to guide. I'm going to add just a little bit of space. Oh, perfect. Okay, so there it is. So I'm going to look at it without, look how aligned that's looking. That makes me so happy. Great. Now I have some text over here, starting with the Count's Curse. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to paste. All right. I'm going to select all of it. I'm going to do a right justification, and I'm going to turn this text white. And I'm going to go to Axia Light, which it is, in 12 and 22, but I'm going to add in some returns so it gives me some space. Okay, great. So I'm going to add this in so you can see it a little bit better. And this is going to be 22. And I'm going to change this to bold. Great. And I'm going to change this to 22. And I'm going to change this to bold. And I'm going to change this to 22. And I'm going to change this to bold. Okay, great. And I'm going to add this in here. Hit Command Save. Command O to open, and I'm going to open the UPC, which this is the thing you scan at the store so they can charge you for it, or it's for inventory at the warehouse. There's lots of different reasons that you may want it, and I'm going to go to Properties and make sure that it is length, and I want the, I want the width on this to be 1.25, and then I'm going to snug it into those guides. Okay, beautiful. Command Save. And here. All right, there you go. Now you can see that it's kind of hard to read the white lettering over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this background over here, and we're going to have a new layer, and we're going to call it Gradient. And we're going to darken it a little bit. But actually it's on the cape, so it probably needs to be up there. Okay, beautiful. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to make sure it goes from black to white. If it doesn't, hit this button right here. And you're going to choose a basic. And the basic is foreground color to transparent. Okay, so if the black's in front, that's the foreground color. Hit radial, okay? And I'm going to move him out like this. My corner is dark, which is great, but my text is also darkened, and I don't want it quite so darkened. So what I can do is move the center of this, and bada bing. Okay, so now I have more contrast, so it's easier to read, but I also don't darken that Dracula, so it is looking good as well. The last thing that we're going to do, oh, we need to name this UPC, is we're going to double check. Did we name everything? Yep. We're going to hit Command Save. Beautiful. And we're going to give him red eyes just for the cherry on top. A new, actually, I don't have to do a new layer because I'm going to do an ellipse and it should automatically do it. Okay. And yep, made me a new layer, and I'm going to make it this hot red. I'm going to make it this hot red. Okay. And then I'm going to make another one over here. Great. And I'm going to rasterize these. And then I'm going to merge layers. Boom. And then I'm going to go to filter, and I'm going to go to blur, and I'm going to go to Gaussian blur. Put it at 5. Beautiful. Still looks pretty janky, so I'm going to go down, whoops, not to saturation, but to color. Okay, there we go. You can see the haze comes a little bit outside the eyes. I don't really like that. I want to clean it up just a little bit. So if it looks like this, it's because my caps lock is on. I can turn it off, and I'm going to clean up that red just a little bit. Okay, there, beautiful. Here it is with, I hope you enjoyed making a magazine. You're going to be creating your next one next, okay? I'm going to save it. Don't forget to also export it as a JPEG, size 7, export. Okay, thank you and have a good evening.